Okay, good morning. It is March 11th, about 7:20 a.m. Pacific time. Basically, what happened overnight was we had the Sunday session. It sort of went sideways and then just slumped overnight. Came down to about the 17 area and then just sort of went sideways, and then pit opened, and we've kind of been rallying ever since. We have a unique situation where bonds and treasuries and equities are all green today. However, there's divergence from the NASDAQ and the S&P between the S&P and the NASDAQ and the Dow. The Dow is red. It's being dragged down by Boeing. Had some retail sales numbers come out this morning. It was negative in, I think it was December. Yeah, so it was revised negative in December and then 0.2% in January. So it's basically been flat since more or less November. Hit a zero, then negative 1.6, and then 0.2. It could be a little bit of sign of weakness, but equities don't appear to give a shit because they're just going for the highs. Pretty slow price action this morning, as you can see, relative to previous days. So that all adds to the context. As of right now, I mean, we just came up and tested the pit high. It got sold down pretty quickly. So at this level here, 230 could be potential short. The only issue is that with that is just I'd probably have to cut my lot size in half because your exit's going to be up here above the overnight high. Otherwise, you're looking at overnight low or the pit low, depending upon the reaction when you get there. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Just keep an eye on what's going on in the 30-year and the 5-year, and to a smaller degree the 2-year. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to keep caffeinating and keeping an eye on everything, and yeah. So sellers responded pretty well at 23.0 pit high. Push that down a couple ticks. 30-year still attacking down. Looks like the 5-year's kind of stalled a little bit. Looks like 22.0 is turning into kind of a support area. So 22.0 just went offer on a less than 500 contracts. I mean, considering the context, though, that it's super slow, there's not a lot of active participation right now. But still, that's a pretty small number to drop in on. And then again at like 247, so just kind of tells you that buyers are not trying to be too aggressive here. Pretty much until they are. So I could take a long here, but this is what you have to consider, is that your exit, your stop loss would be down here, which is basically right by the point of control. So this is kind of evaluating context at this point. Context is that we've kind of been bid pretty much almost like a trend day since pit open. So we kind of have a shelf that's developing in all three of these products. And buyers have been absorbing the selling here at this level pretty well. This might be worth a shot. I mean, how quickly that pulled off pretty significantly. Took this bid, just immediately started tacking higher. There's your back tick. Let's just try to scale into this thing. So we got a fill. 30-year, we're basically up 2 ticks. Up 2 ticks in the 5-year. Unfortunately, what we're looking for here, this is sort of the range we've been in for the last, I don't know, hour or so. So we're asking for buyers to push this out of this range. Might be kind of a big ask. It's not impossible, but I also don't like where my required stop loss is. It's just pretty slow action today. Pretty typical of a Monday. So 30 years gone bid at 26. That's good. So we went offer here. Nothing hit down, and there's already 2,500 pulling off of the bid. The 30 years still pushing the highs, pushing the most recent high. The 5 years pulled back a little bit. Really slow action, man. Well, the ES just made new highs on the day. So far, just no reaction here. 30 years still pushing. It just back ticked actually. So ES pushing more highs. So far, no reaction. So let's see, taking another look at the calendar. I'm seeing consumer inflation expectations at 8 o'clock. And then we just have Treasury auctions up after that, and then Fed Chairman Powell speaking, but that's at, what, 4 p.m.? So I feel like the market's just in a waiting mode right now. But unless it's waiting for consumer inflation expectations, which it's normally not a market mover. Then I don't really see what's going on or what the holdup is, one way or the other. So we went offer at 22 even. I'm not too worried just yet. In fact, I'm thinking about adding here. Especially because of that reaction there that buyers held this level again as far as bid. Keeping it pretty much bid thus far. Well, I take that back. So we went offer at 22 even with 3,000 up. It's pretty significant. Bid pulled off here, 4,000 with 50 down. Might be in trouble. $30 years definitely pushing down. I think the trade there was selling the pit high. Yeah, not good. Well, at a minimum, I should have been a little bit more patient and entered at my optimal if I was going to go long here, which is at 22 even. Stopped out